Hey everybody, I'm hoping that the third time's the charm. This is my third crack at recording my screencast, so I'm hoping that this one's the last time I have to go around at it. Just to recap how I have been approaching these things lately, I'm trying to use Evernote when I'm doing any sort of reading or evaluating for a couple different reasons. Number one, bring you can clip an article if you want to from the web, and you can also drag in the PDF. You can't edit it in Evernote, but you can edit it out and then bring it back in. But the nice thing about Evernote is that if you wanted to link some text with an actual article, like for example, I um, created a new note um, and titled it, and then put in some of Julie's comment things to look out for, just as a reminder to myself in case I want to make some comments. But if I wanted to pull in the actual article, I could copy a link to the article, and then it will bring me right to it afterwards. So it's a nice way to link up notes and articles. So, just to recap some of what I was trying to do, I was trying to be pretty purposeful in this inquiry task, and I was thinking ahead to the um, trying to find an article related to online evaluation skills. Now, I had an author in mind. His name is Howard Rheingold. Um, he's written some articles on source evaluation, which he calls crap detection, which I wrote about in some of my earlier stuff. I was trying to find some scholarly articles that he's written. I originally started with the URI databases, so if I were going to go through URI, I should have it bookmarked, but I usually just search URI library, very quick, click on the databases. Um, I started off with education because we were looking at education-related source evaluation, but I also know that Howard Rheingold's a social science media literacy person. So that was another area that I thought I might find some sources on those two databases. Believe it or not, I actually came up short. The education databases did provide a handful of articles, but nothing directly related to what I um, really needed. Secondly, one thing I did talk about was that um, I've really become reliant on just a handful of databases. The education full text via EBSC host, and then um, the Eric Access. Those are the two that I used while I was in my master's program. I had a lot of success with them. I've come to really rely on them, maybe too much. The other one is JSTOR. And typically between these three, I can find the articles that I'm looking for. So I'm wondering a little bit if I become too over reliant on uh, these narrow databases, or if I've just found a way to be efficient, and this is probably a way that I should continue going. But today was the first day that I really didn't find any sources that I needed from an academic background. So what I did was I took it to a Google search. So Google, I'm gonna go Howard. Let's see, Google Scholar. Howard Rheingold. Let's see what comes up. All right. Now I use the colon because I want to search Google Scholar, but interestingly enough, I'm not finding Scholar results, so maybe I typed it in wrong. Let's see, let me just type Google Scholar. All right, scholar.google.com. Let's see if we can find anything here. I'm not expecting to find a lot, so that's why I'm searching the author name. If we get a lot of hits, I would then narrow my search with something like source evaluation. So let's see what we can do. All right, so we got quite a few. Um, virtual community. All right, so we got quite a few here. I'm going to start to try to narrow my search a little bit. I'm going to put in quotation marks. Source evaluation. I'm trying something a little bit more narrow. If I don't hit here, I'm going to try to find something that just has to do with evaluation. So aggregated trustworthiness. Howard Rheingold's book, but it's not by Rheingold. Web researchers and genres in when the glossy page disappears. Let's see here. So once I start, first we'll read the titles, and then once I go from the titles, I then go into the descriptions. Again, right now we're looking at source relevance rather than the evaluation of credibility. And we're not getting it. I'm not seeing a ton of hits. I've only got 5. So maybe source is too narrow. Let's go to evaluation. And let's see. Computer security, evaluation, security equipment. Nope. I am not as familiar with Google Scholar, so maybe this is what's um, inhibiting my search a little bit. Criteria, communication age, program evaluation. Nope. Nope. Howard Rheingold. Well, what he's known for is crap detection, so let's see if that gets me anywhere. Leads to his book, Net Smart, but I don't see a PDF here, so I'm not going to dive too far down that rabbit hole. Let's see, crap detection. Digital literacy. Let's take a look at this. Abstract, social importance of critical information consumption and infotension. All right, let's see. American Library Association. This might work. See if I can get the PDF of the whole document. Ooh. All right. Well, stewards of digital literacy. Now, the only thing I'm concerned about right now is that it might be too librarian focused and not so much completely focused on source evaluation. And maybe right now I'm focusing too much on just this one author that I want to use rather than finding web sources that would be helpful for my research. Although I am enjoying this process of trying to find an author that I like. So I'm walking the line between efficiency and exploration. And exploration can kind of be messy and not always a straight line. But just out of curiosity, let's go back to the URI library and see if we can come up with some education sources about digital literacy and source evaluation. Using these key phrases here. Let's see what we come up with. Since they have source choices. Sources. Teaching digital literacy in schools. Springer Science and Business Media. Now, epistemological beliefs, information sources, learning context. I'm going to open this up and save it just in case. Might be something of use to me in the future. Because the process has taken quite a while already. I'm concerned that if I were in my class or if I didn't have enough time, I might be a little bit more frustrated. Now, the other thing that's kind of bothering me is science and business media, which it's education related, but are these people educators? Let me take a look. I got to take a look at their backgrounds. Maybe they'll give me a bio of the authors. The other thing I could do is I could do a Google search on them. But we're kind of coming up against the clock on the 15-minute point. Let's see. All right, so there's nothing at the beginning. Introductions I know, or backgrounds are usually at the beginning or the end. So I'm going to go to the end of the article to see if we get any information about the authors. Okay, so 14. All right. I could just search the guy's name in Google to find out. We'll go to digital literacy. It didn't copy for me. That's kind of frustrating. Rare Bromy. R-A. Can't copy. Oh, copy this. Web literacy. Rare Bromy. Institute of Psychology. Let's see, where is he located? Now, while this gentleman looks credible, I don't know much about his background. And again, it was like a pretty narrow search. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and let's see if we can search again. I'm going to search internet because maybe digital literacy is too narrow. These two terms, internet and source evaluation. Various opinion. Relevant source features. I'm going to go to full text because I don't want to be searching around for the internet. Let's go evaluate. Nope. Evaluating sources. Again, I'm going broader because the narrow searches have been very limited. Comprehension and learning. Oh, Susan Goldman. All right. Hey, we've been here processing better and poorer learners. Oh, we already read this article. And since I'm coming up against the clock, I'm going to end it here. And we can talk more about it in class on Monday. Thanks.